Hi, this is Paul again. I've got a new video and this is called 3D printed ThePaulTM puzzle balls 1 to 4. There are a couple of puzzle balls on the market that were injection molded, and these were in toy companies from Spain. And I took an interest in these type of balls, and I worked on a couple of my own, but I never did get it off the ground. Anyways, I put an anime together a few years ago, showing how this ball went together. So let's take a look at it. These pieces were originally designed to be injection molded. So this is just the start of the operation. Designing a part like this, it takes a lot more work to design it for injection molding, because the part has to have a certain wall thickness and there has to be a draft so that it'll part away from the mold. Now a 3D printer is different to injection molding. A 3D printer can produce a part that cannot come out of an injection molding. It doesn't have that problem. Now I've acquired different 3D printers over the years, and each one is a little bit better than the other. 3D printing is a technology that is improving almost every year. There are so many printers on the market, it's very difficult to find out which is the best one. But anyways, I've got myself a Bambu printer, and this seems to be the bee's knee. It's a beautiful machine. So anyways, I've decided I'm going to try to put this puzzle ball together using my Bambu A1 3D printer. So I decided to look at these CAD files, and I'm working with Rhino version 6. It's an excellent program for this type of thing. Okay, to start this puzzle ball, I've decided to use a white hub in the center instead of the 4 pieces. This will make it less complicated to start. I'll give this ball a spin around and you can see how it all goes together. And now I'm going to show you how this thing comes apart and goes together again. Now notice that we have a cyan arc with a shaft. I 3D printed these in 2 separate items. They fit together nicely. I made the hole just 0.1 millimeter larger than the shaft, and it worked out perfect. Okay, as this goes back together, you see I got a yellow shell and a red shell. Now these 2 shells are identical. The only thing different is that the yellow shell and the red shell are a mirrored pair. This is basically the foundation of 3-dimensional order, because you have a left hand and you have a right hand, and they're a mirrored pair, aren't they? But I guess when you only get 1 or 2 views from all around the world for my videos, it's definite for sure that they don't want any 3-dimensional order. They only want chaos. Okay, now we can move on a little bit. And as I said earlier, we start with a white hub. It's easier. In my previous video, I showed how it assembles together. So now I'm just showing the finished ball. It took quite a bit of work to get to this stage because I had to have tolerances and stuff like that. I'm quite happy with the results so far. In my last video, I showed that the hub could be changed to 4-piece hub instead of a straight white hub. Now this is a puzzle on its own. It doesn't need the ball. This is a good puzzle, and it's easy to 3D print. Now if you look at this image, I show a base for the 4-color puzzle. In the next image, I'm showing you 3 bases for the puzzle. Now the center base is a capped cylinder. I decided that I could half the height. So what I done, I stopped the print 50% on the way up, on the layers. And I think the result is much nicer than the capped cylinder because it shows the infill in a perfect order. This is lovely 3D geometry. It's a lot better than chaos. Anyways, let's move on a bit. I've got puzzle 2 and I'm going to show you it coming apart and going together again. I'm not spending a lot of time on these puzzles because there's absolutely no interest. I only got 1 or 2 views for that last puzzle. And not one person wanted to make a comment. They just ignored it. I guess people only want to listen to theories of butterflies flapping its wings and causing hurricanes in Texas. Okay, I've shown you 2 puzzles. Now I'm going to show you my 3rd one. I find this very mind-boggling to put together. But I guess most of the scholars on the internet find this very, very trivial. Maybe it's too childish for these people. It makes me think I'm only getting 1 or 2 views and nobody's making a comment. What's the matter with people? Why can't they talk? Anyways, I think there's a lot of value in this type of puzzle, type of 3D geometry, because it teaches kids how to look at things in 3 dimension, because we live in a 3-dimensional world, not a 4th-dimensional world. Anyways, I think I've given enough 3-dimensional order for today. So this is Paul saying thank you very much for watching my video.